I'm able to save 60% of my software engineering salary here in the UK, all while paying for rent, my traveling costs, and also inflation rising higher. I'm going to reveal my housing situation, my travel costs, but also this one trick that's allowed me to increase my income, but also save the most amount of money. If you're new here, I'm David. I'm a software engineer based in the UK. I work for a publishing company and my office is based in London. I've created this channel, GetToTheCode, to help aspiring devs break into the industry and also sharing the mistakes I've made along the way. So I'm going to be sharing my 3 best tips for saving your money. But before we get into that, here are my 2 caveats for the video. Number 1, I'm a big believer in 80% of the results come from 20% of the work. And this definitely applies here. I barely put any effort into these 3 things. They save me the most amount of money. No one's going to want to hear this, but you really do need to increase your income. There's only so much penny pinching you can do. I'm as frugal as the next guy, but you just need to increase your income. I definitely went down the penny pinching route to start with, and I did notice my quality of life decreased. Since I've increased my income, I've been able to save the money I need for down the line, and also spending the money on the things that matter to me the most. For example, I like to spend money on boot camps, skills, courses, anything like that to improve my skill in coding so I can earn more. I pay for multiple gym memberships and also going on holiday whenever I want. My first tip is to tackle your housing. So the UK average is around 30% of their salary. So what I like to do is just do the opposite of what the average are doing. If you want average results, be my guest, follow the average. UK average is 30%. My rent and everything to do with housing is only 15%. That includes my rent, my council tax, my bills, and I've been able to do this with 2 things. 1, house share. Honestly, if you rent solo, that's just a one-way ticket for your bank account to get drained. Renting as a pair is so much cheaper than renting solo. The more people in the house, the cheaper it gets. If you can find a 4-man house and live with your friends, that's perfect. That's what I've done. And the rent is super cheap. If I got a flat by myself, my rent would double, maybe triple. It's ridiculous. So if we follow the UK average, let's say, for example, your rent is £650 a month and you earn around £2,000 after tax per month. If you go down the route of renting a cheaper place, well, for one, good luck because rent only goes up. Let's say, for example, you reduced it to $550. Well, you've gone from around 30% to around 27% of your income. That's not a big difference. But say now, if you increased your income from £2,000 a month to say 2,800. Oh, I know that sounds a lot, but you can do that through a promotion. You can do things on the side hustles, whatever the buzzword is nowadays. Stop thinking that you're set in stone in your current salary with your current job. Get a new job that pays better. If you've got experience in your current industry, there's an exact replica of your job with another company and they just pay better. There's loads of ways to go about it. So if your income was 2,800 and your rent was 650, it would reduce it to 23%. That's way better. If you paired that with reducing your rent to 550, it would bring it down to around 20%. Now for my juiciest tip of the video, the one that's allowed me to increase my income but also save me the most money. The most important part of this, you need to work remotely. If your office is in London and you work in London, well, unless you're on a ridiculous salary, you're not saving the money you need. So my best tip is something called salary arbitrage. So the idea is you choose a place to live that has a lower cost of living. You're not going to live in like the big cities, okay? That's where it's most expensive. So I've chosen to live outside of London, but then you get a job, you work remotely, but you get a job that's based in London or based in a higher paying city. You could apply this anywhere in the world. It's not UK based. Say, for example, in the US, you get paid in New York, but then you live in a cheaper place. These 2 aspects are what makes salary arbitrage so powerful. Before I changed to London office, I was getting paid 10% less than my current salary. So me just getting a new role in the London office bumped my salary purely based on the location change. If you've done this and not getting paid higher, negotiate with your manager. You should be getting paid based on where you are located. Salary arbitrage is ridiculously powerful. I've only just implemented this year. I'm hoping to keep going with it. And I honestly highly recommend you guys trying it out. If your company doesn't offer this, go to a different company. Honestly, I got a 10% increase purely based on location, and I barely go into the office. It's nuts. But also, guys, if you want to know how much I earn as a software engineer here in the UK, click the link above. And my last tip for today, we're going to talk about transport. So the average running cost for a car is around £400 here in the UK. That's maintenance, petrol, that's insurance, anything to do with the car. What I do, sounds simple, just don't own a car. I live in a city where I can walk everywhere, I can cycle anywhere, and then if I can't do those two, I Uber, I taxi, purely out of the convenience. And then when I need to travel to work, which is in London, which is about once a month, I just take public transport. My sister just repaired her car. It cost her £600 and she doesn't even know what was needing to fix. My housemate is thinking of getting a Mercedes on loan. That's going to take a lot of his salary per month. Just a quick update. My housemate got that Mercedes on a loan and he's paying 300 quid per month. In my personal lifestyle, I don't need a car, so I've gone around it. That's how I saved my money on transport. So those were the three big things that helped me save the most amount of money and enable me to save 60% of my income. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next video.